and welcome to the Bryan Board of Public Affairs meeting for November 3rd, 2015. First on the agenda is to approve the minutes of the October 20th, 2015 meeting. Anyone have a chance to review those?
I see no additions or corrections.
Second.
Dick?
Yes.
Karen?
Yes.
Bonnie?
Yes.
Jim?
Yes.
Al?
Yes.
Number 2 then is a hearing of public concerns. Seeing none, we'll move on. Number 3, a resolution to approve revisions to the water rate schedules for the Bryan Water Department for the next 5 years.
Okay, this will be a resolution to approve the water rate schedules of the Bryan Water Department for the next 5-year time period. It will be resolution number 33, 2015. So I'm going to read the top half of that for you real quick. A resolution to approve revisions to the water rate schedules of the City of Bryan Water Department for the next 5 years according to the exhibits as herein attached. With the resolution is the next 5 years water rate schedules. In your board packet, we included those once again, as well as our current water rate schedule. I do want to make mention that we have talked about this extensively at meetings. We also have hand-delivered over 30 analyses for our larger and mid-sized customers. As of date, we have not received any additional phone calls on those. We did clarify at the last board meeting, this is strictly water. It does not pertain to the sewer rates. That's not us. And I also wanted to clarify something that was in the paper after the last board meeting. Water rate recovery pays for water meters. It does not pay for electric meters. So I don't know if that was an error on my side that came off the wrong way. I know we did talk about some electric stuff during that whole topic, and I think maybe it got skewed into there. But I want to make sure our customers know water takes care of water, electric takes care of electric, okay? So I want to make sure that was on the table. Again, this is a 5-year rate increase, and it's built into the structure by Mr. John Courtney, who we hired to provide us a cost of service analysis of our system. The only thing that I would make note of, we did talk about AMI, and that is built into this rate structure. However, if that does not take off or something happens here in the next year or two, we will come back to the board and revisit these rates to get them back in line. Okay? So this is what we need for the next 5, but we will revisit and keep an eye on them.
Questions, comments?
I'll move. Second. We discussed it long enough, might as well move on.
Yeah. I'll second.
Al?
Yeah.
Jim?
Yes.
Bonnie?
Yes.
Karen?
Yes.
Dick?
Yes.
Number 4, a resolution to authorize the first amendment to the energy purchase power supply schedule with AMP.
Okay, this will be a resolution number 34, 2015. It's a resolution authorizing the Bryan Director of Utilities to execute the First Amendment to Energy Purchase Power Supply Schedule with American Municipal Power, Inc. and declare an emergency. What we included in your board packet, we did update. We have started the process because we need to of evaluating that residual load contract that we currently have, which is a remaining needs contract. So our power portfolio sets up that we purchase X amount of power, but we have needs beyond that. And if you remember, back in 2012, we signed a roughly 4 or 5 year agreement that stated we were going to get the rest of those needs on the energy side for 3.79 cents through AMP, which is actually through AMP to American Energy, or American Electric Power, AEP. That contract expires next year, December 31st. Okay, so like a lot of things we do here, we need to get on top of the ball right away and start to look for these other forward contracts. With that being stated, we need the ability to look at the next 5 years as well as farther on if we can. So what we are asking for in this resolution, and which will be built into the energy purchase power supply schedule from the years 2018 to December 31st, 2024. Okay, so it's a rather longer amount of time. If you read the contract, it does state that we would only look at those offers that are below $45 a megawatt hour, which is 4.5 cents. Okay, some of the power contracts we're in today are at 6 cents because back when we entered into those in 2007, that was good pricing. Okay, so we are trying to get ourselves back in line. The 3.79 cents that we have currently under the AEP agreement through AMP is a very good agreement. It's just a shy more than what the power prices were in 2003 here at the utility. This allows me to pull the trigger and get the contract signed when the pricing comes in at what I feel is the right number, okay? And the reason why I need this passed on the emergency side of that is this is a commodity we're purchasing, and those quotes from those commodity brokers are only good till 4 o'clock of closing business day. You know, so if somebody comes in with a really good price, I can't move fast enough without board meetings and other things.
Correct.
So as in, like the last time, we had a threshold set up that was acceptable, okay? And again, we're trying to get the best price, and we're trying to move on it when we have to move on it. So that's what's in front of you for this. Questions?
Oh, I think it just makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, our goal is, and maybe it's a lofty goal, we're trying to secure pricing very similar to what we have today for the next 6 years out. I mean, we're trying, you know.
Well, things change.
Well, you don't have enough time to get board members to
Right.
approve something, and you gotta move fast.
Right.
And you know,
So you gotta have somebody with authority to do it.
Sure, and you know what the good price is.
Yeah.
I'll move.
Second.
Al?
Yes.
Dick?
Yes.
Bonnie?
Yes.
Jim?
Yes.
Karen? Yes.
Number 5, a presentation by Lou Pendleton on branding and a new logo.
Yeah, branding and a new logo. This has been a project that's been ongoing, and really we've thought about it a lot over the years, so we finally have taken some steps on this project. Part of the reason why we got started on this is because we currently have multiple versions of our logo all in use now. The first one you see there, well, this one here is the old logo, and it's still on a truck or two. Then we had this logo, and that logo was adopted before I started working here. And it has the entire Williams County Courthouse in the middle, which when you go to use it transparently, to make it transparent, it was real difficult. So then the next thing happened was the courthouse kind of disappeared. And then it got evolved, and then the words disappeared, and then you see the sign behind you. We started using this logo, but they're all in use. So we said, we got to come up with one logo for our organization. And we need it to be easy to use. In addition, we wanted it to represent all of our services, not just electric. That logo was a legacy AMP logo, and we have water and communications. So we had that in mind. We wanted it to be new and fresh. That was one of the options, to look for a unique new design. And finally, we needed a vector image. A vector is an image that's fully scalable to any size without loss of resolution. And we don't have that with our current logo. It was created without, it wasn't created digitally, and so it's not a vector. And every time we wanted to send our logo to a vendor, they'd say, well, send us a vector image, and we never had one. So those were some of the reasons that pushed the project up to the front. So in April, we formed a committee, and we said, well, we need to talk about our brand because we want our logo to reflect our brand. So we stopped and did a little research on our brand, and we wanted it to represent all our services, electric, water, communications. And we looked into what our core values are, which are Local, we're located in Bryan. We serve Bryan customers. We're owned by the Bryan residents. The board's locally elected, so local is a core value. Reliable, we take pride in being a very reliable provider of electric, water, and communications, and those services are backed by customer service. Helpful is another one of our core values. Our employees go beyond the norm to assist customers, and we're available 24/7 for customer service. Dependable. Bryan Municipal Utilities has been serving the community for more than 120 years. That's pretty dependable. And last, good for the community. We provide essential utilities at not-for-profit rates. And in addition, over $1 million in free services to the community every year. And we're active in economic development efforts. So we looked at our core values, and those core values are reflected in our mission statement, which I'll read. Bryan Municipal Utilities is dedicated to providing reliable, affordable electric, water, and communication services, and to enhancing the quality of life for our customer owners and our community. And we also have a tagline, I don't know if you've heard it, but reliable, local, yours. That tagline came with the logo that we had from AMP, and we want to keep our tagline because it reflects our brand. And then we ask our BMU employees to write down 3 words they think of when they think of Bryan Municipal Utilities, to come up with our characteristics. And some of the words that occurred most frequently were reliable, local, dependable, helpful, hardworking, friendly, professional, customer-focused. Those were some of the words. And so we took that information to develop this description of our brand, and then our objective was to have the logo reflect our brand. And so then in June and July, we developed the criteria for the logo design. We wanted it to reflect our brand, be easy to use in different formats, digitally, small, and print. We wanted it to have a unique design, unique to Bryan. We wanted it to be appealing. We wanted it to allow for versatility. And then the part of that criteria is it had to be delivered on time and on budget. And so we sent out a request for proposals to design design concepts, because we knew we had to pay the artists for their creative designs. And we gave them the brand objectives and the logo objectives, a brand description and logo objectives. And 4 area artists replied to our request for proposals, and we contracted all 4 to provide us with logo concepts. In August, we met with those artists and reviewed our goals and answered any questions. And then in September, we received the concepts. We received more than 20 unique logo designs. They were all unique. And then we worked with each of the artists to make changes. We'll revise this, change this. We want to make changes. And then when we finished the revision phase, we took the logos and we used our design criteria that we had in our request for proposals and used that to evaluate the logos that we received. And we picked then our top 3 designs, which we then presented to the director. And this is it. We selected this one. It continues the BMU. Bryan Municipal Utilities is a long name. It's difficult to use it doesn't stack well, and if you use it in full size, it's really long. So we were ready to shift to BMU. It extends from kind of what we have there at the board sign. But we still felt it's not enough to stand on its own, so we kept the Bryan Municipal Utilities under it. We continued the navy, dark navy, which is a strong dark color, it shows up well. And then italicized to show forward progressive movement. And then the artist redesigned the AMP logo to represent the 3 departments. And it allows for variations. We can then add our tagline underneath. And we can change the colors. If we have a green energy project or a recycling project or something, we can switch to the green. And likewise, we can switch to the gold if we have an occasion that we want to use. So it allows for those variations. It's clean. We feel like it's simple and easy, and clean but easy to use, and unique to Bryan. So that is why we came up with this design. And so then, with your approval of the logo design, our next step is to create brand guidelines, which is a set of instructions that said, this is how this logo needs to be presented. You can't change the colors to red or whatever. And we're nearly finished with that, and then begin implementing the new logo throughout the organization in our printed materials, our letterhead, business cards, on our vehicles, in our signs, and our uniforms. So does anybody have any, I'll push it back to this will be the basic logo with variations where we want. Any questions?
Looks pretty good to me.
I like it. It's a nice change. Get rid of the ninja star.
Yeah.
So a couple of
Just a
things
nice
here.
fresh change.
This does not separate us from the city.
No.
It's still recognizable as a city entity. It just shows that we are part of that branch, okay? It's clean, it's new, it is refreshing. It also takes in the thought process if the board, and we would like a motion for support, okay? Not approval, but I want support. I want to recognize that the board supported this. It allows us then to also take the, if you want to call it the Ninja Star or whatever you want to call it, off the building and have those, the new little, what's the proper term we should use for those?
Well, we're calling them crescents.
Crescents. Put on that, and then we've already talked to the people that helped with our sign here to help us get that changed, okay?
We change the trucks and everything?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. Because really,
Yeah,
it
be a little
really needs to
involved,
clean
won't it?
everything up.
Pardon?
It'll be a little involved, won't it?
Yeah, but it's not drastically different. It's
No,
not
I
a
don't mean,
complete-
I don't mean the design, just
Yeah.
getting everything changed over.
Yeah, that'll be the fun part,
Yeah.
but it's more of an evolution from
And I can see where it doesn't take much space on the letters you're writing.
Now, Lou, that will not say reliable local yours,
It will if we want to.
if you want to.
But
Okay.
the basic logo by itself will be this. This is the basic logo, and this is the logo with tagline.
Okay. So, I mean, as far as when you put them on vehicles, they're all
The
good to say the same.
the basic logo will be this.
Okay.
However, we're discussing how to maybe put the tagline or our phone number or our web address somewhere else in lettering. That we haven't worked that out
Oh,
yet.
okay, okay.
So, not to make assumptions that the board was going to like this off the bat, but we do have to, and we did, and you're not privy to that yet, build this into next year's budget. A little bit of these changes have to happen. The money has to be set aside. So I'm just letting you guys know, don't be upset that we built it in there with the assumption that we have a good product here and we think we can sell it, because we still got to pay for it, you know?
Well, that was based also on the feedback we got during committee meetings, and you all seemed like you were in favor, so.
Group did a nice job with it. If I could, again, I would like a motion of some type directed through the chair showing approval and support of this.
I have a question.
So
first,
moved.
though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
question.
Your crescents, are they, help refresh my memory on the oops colors, are they?
No, they are not the oops orange and orange, red, and blue. The colors of the OOPS panel weren't good design, artistic colors in our thought. The red and orange side by side just
Okay.
didn't seem to work.
So a motion of support then is that approving the basic change, or is this just, I mean, are we finalizing this, or is it just the basic change and then we'll tweak it this week?
No, we're asking you to approve this right here as
Okay.
the basic BMU logo.
Okay.
And recognize those other logos that precede this, there was no board action on those. They just sort of grew and changed and did all
Yeah, they
these wonderful
evolved,
things.
which was the part of the
Right,
problem.
what we're saying is, you know what, if we're gonna clean this up and do the right thing, let's clean these up, move them out, put them out to the curb, get the board to make a motion, approve this as the basic design, knowing that this is who we are, and then the other tagline stuff, that's all secondary, we can do stuff with that. But this is who we are, this is what we're gonna be.
Do you have a motion for support?
So move.
Second.
Al?
Yes.
Dick?
Yes.
Bonnie?
Yes.
Jim? Karen? Yes.
Nice job, Lou, you beat me by 3 minutes.
Thank you.
Good job.
Yeah, very thorough, thank you. Number 6, affect semi-monthly disbursements. A motion to pay the bills?
I'll make a motion to pay the bills.
Jim?
Yes.
Karen? Yes. Bonnie?
Yes.
Dick?
Yes.
Al?
And number 7, comments from BPA and staff.
Yeah, just a couple things. The first, the easy one. I don't know if Mr. Horn has let anybody know, but I was notified that on November 5 at 11 a.m. at the Lincoln Theater in Columbus, Mr. Al Horn will be one of the 20 inductees into the Ohio Veterans Hall of Fame class of 2015. He will join 478 veterans already recognized for their services. So congratulations,
Wow.
and thank you.
I'm lucky. I will lie.
You deserve it. And we like you alive. How's that?
Yeah.
That's a plus. Come back.
That's a plus.
Yeah.
Bryan's solar generation numbers are good so far this year to date. 2,399,146 kilowatt hours. And the last thing is channel lineup issues. So I did include an email from Joe to me explaining to staff what's going on. Last Tuesday in the afternoon, we received a certified letter addressed to Joe and myself from Wing TV letting us know that the Doppler radar that we've been carrying on that channel needed to come off by Friday, period. There was no ifs, ands, or buts. Well, throughout this whole process, there's a lot of issues going on with this moving channels and doing things. So I won't do this justice if I try to summarize it. So I'm going to ask Joe to step up to the podium. I know he isn't prepared for this. To give a quick summary, and I'm telling you as board members, prepare yourself for the future because there's a lot of jockeying of channels going on with providers, and we're going to feel this pain for a while, I have a feeling. So, Mr. Joe.
At least he's smiling.
Well, this is deja vu, isn't
Or
it?
if you've read the email, ask him questions.
Getting used to it. As Bryan said, we received that letter last week on Tuesday. By November the 1st, we had to make the change. In the letter, it stated that the 15 WANE weather Doppler radar was going to be replaced with a new programming that's island-based, and we had no authority and no permission to carry that new programming on our system. So, and they said if we did, we'd be in breach of the agreement. So we had no choice but to remove it because it's not going to be there anyway as of November 1st. So we made that change between 8 a.m. and noon on Fridays when we made the change. And searching around for another weather radar that we could find, the only thing out there is channel 13 on 13.3. If you scan your TVs, they have a weather radar that's Toledo based, but it's a pretty good radar. So we basically changed out. We took the 15 weather radar off, we put 13 on. And for those people with set-top boxes, if it hasn't already happened, I've submitted to have the channel map changes that will basically on channel 707, instead of getting the 15 weather radar, you will get the 13 weather radar. But for those people who do not have set-top boxes, as of Friday, all they have to do is rescan their TVs and they will pick up the new program. In doing so, we found out that with channel 15, with the equipment we have, you cannot go in and select certain digital programs to remove them. And we had one last option on one piece of equipment that I was able to do that. If that had not worked, we would have had to remove channel 15 HD off the system, which it's pass-through free, but people are used to it. But thankfully, we was able to take care of that. And with all the information that I gave you in the email, basically, in simple terms, is channel 15 weather radar no longer exists, and it's been replaced with channel 13's weather radar. And that's the only change at this time.
So with that, as Joe pointed out, we were lucky enough to have a piece of equipment that he can make this happen, to still provide some type of weather radar. However, some of the equipment we have is older. If that equipment fails, which it could, you never know, we may not replace that piece of equipment because the expense of having it repaired or replaced greatly outweighs the freely throwing that channel out there to the system. So we want to make sure people understand that. This is one of those you're not getting charged for. It's just one of those we put out there. And Joe and I talked because we were like, man, this is the last of what we have of this type of equipment. Do we do this? And we thought it was the right thing to try to get it out there to keep our community involved. And we understand that it's Toledo radar. It is not Fort Wayne. I know where the weather comes from. I grew up around this area, but this is the best we can do. Okay. Thank you, Joe.
That will be 13.3.
Yes.
I find Escape is no longer on, or did that change a channel? I did rescan, by the way.
Escape, you're
Yeah.
speaking of GT, the PBS?
No, the channel name itself is Escape. It was, well, if I tell you my TV channel, it was like 132.3.
I'd have to look at the channel map.
I had heard somebody else had lost that channel, so I checked myself and rescanned
I'd
it.
have-
That
right.
was on.
Right. The when we changed all this equipment around to keep the channel 15 HD, there was one or two programs that we had a lot of difficulty getting to come back in. That one may not have come back in. I'm not sure, but I'll try to remember, Karen, to look at it and see what it is, because I had a lot of trouble getting antenna TV, which is on one of those. I had a lot of trouble getting it back in because what happens is these broadcasters sends all these programs out on one frequency, but they're all separate digital streams. And the equipment that we have is just, it's basically not designed. We're doing a lot more with it than it's designed to do. And if you put too many digital programs on one frequency, it will overload the digital stream and will cause tiling and breaking up. So at one point in time, we had to remove one. I don't think it's that one, but we had to remove one because you're overcompressing the digital stream.
I had two people contact me about what's going on, no favorite TV channel anymore. So
Right.
thanks for the update. I'll pass it along.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you, Joe.
Thanks, Jim.
That'd be it.
Okay, Rhonda?
No.
Okay, Al?
No.
Say good luck to those of you running for a public office here, and be sure to get out and vote. Anybody that hasn't voted, please vote.
Karen?
Same thing. Wish you well, both of you that are here, and Al, congratulations.
Thank you.
And I hope it is a very enjoyable event for you.
It'll be interesting.
Likewise, I hope everybody votes, and congratulations. That's really something.
If there's nothing further, then I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Dick?
Yes.
Jim?
Yes.
Bonnie?
Yes.
Karen?
Yes.
Al?
Yeah.